Today, the #1 Pathfinder in Apex Legends is answering your most important questions. Alrighty, first question from Mr. Tub Chub. How do you not just get one clipped every single fight?
Cover. Definitely, if you're engaging fights, like, play around cover. So if you're just running out in the open, engaging people, you're gonna get one magged by everybody. So be sure to use cover while fighting.
You always have that in the back of your mind when you are launching your grapple?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you're hitting the grapple on the ground, looking for a place to slide that has cover, correct?
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
All right, we got a question from Low IQ Justin. When pushing a team with Pathfinder, what is the best way to push in with this grapple, or should you not push in with the grapple?
So I try to go by a rule of like 70 damage. Like, I won't grapple on somebody unless I do like at least 70 damage to somebody. Because if you're just grappling in on somebody without doing any damage, like you're giving up all your mobility and just leaving yourself exposed. So try to get somebody weak first before grappling in on somebody, or else you will be punished. If you see your teammate like doing damage, like if you see a crack, then yeah, go ahead and grapple. That counts as the 70 damage rule or whatever. So just don't grapple on people with full HP. Be sure that they have some sort of damage on them.
So this just has to be one person on the team, correct?
I mean, if it's a duo, I normally play duos. I'll crack somebody and grapple on them, try to get the knock, and then I'll just try to take my one playing around cover. I'll be sure not to like grapple in a place that has zero cover.
Okay.
I want to make sure I can like dive back into cover, and hopefully my teammate will help and capitalize off that knock too.
All right, we got a question from Posting Offensive Things. He says, how do you always consistently hit every grapple?
I think that's just practice, honestly. I tried playing linear with like no dead zone, but I feel like having your reticle all wobbly like that is a big disadvantage if you're trying to hit like a non-traditional grapple and just like being able to aim on something small. So I feel like classic, it shines whenever you're trying to grapple.
All right, I know people are going to be wondering, so I might as well just ask what your current sense is. You just said classic is what you're using, correct?
Yeah, I do. My sense, keep in mind, viewers, that I'm an old man. I'm basically 30, so don't laugh at me. I play 3-2 classic. Yep, you heard that right.
Okay, you guys are slower than Chad over here. This guy.
Yeah, it's great for like grappling people, hitting non-traditional grapples, meaning like if you aim above whatever you're grappling. Let's say you're grappling a wall. If you aim right at the top of that wall, you can like grapple that and hit like a crazy fat grapple. So when you look at something, your reticle becomes blue. And if you just like slowly aim up above that wall, whenever like the blue disappears, it just turns like a regular color. That's when you hit the grapple. And if you do that, you will go flying. And with a slow sense, I'm able to hit those pretty consistently.
Okay.
And if you like shotguns, if you have that slow sense, you can aim on somebody easy and grapple them and pump them for 100+ damage. Like a slow sense is great for having really accurate grapples, which is powerful if you use it correctly.
That plays well into our next question by Jaxie Play. It says, do you utilize grappling people, or grabbing people rather, with his grapple, or is it useless / extremely situational?
It is definitely not useless. You grapple somebody, they don't know what they're doing. They get so confused. I mean, be honest, how often do y'all get grappled? Do you ever get grappled a lot, Sweat?
No, I do not.
See, this man plays a lot. If you get grappled, you get discombobulated, so definitely grapple people. It catches them off guard, and you can get some nice, funny clips on it.
I think the only time it would be a bad idea is if you know the other opponent has a shotgun. I think that's the only time where I would just
I'm not gonna grapple a full HP person unless I have a shotgun myself. It's great for like pulling people off of zip lines too. Like that catches people off guard. On Broken Moon, I love grappling people off the zip rails. They just don't know what to do. It's hilarious.
That would be impressive to see. I have not seen anybody do that yet.
I do that.
Okay. Okay. All right, we got a question from Ton Foos. If Pathfinder wasn't in the game, who would you main and why?
Pathfinder wasn't in the game, who would I main? I would main Lifeline. I know that sounds weird, but I love support roles for Apex. I was actually the #1 ranked medic in Battlefield 1. So I love like reviving my teammates, making sure they have like full health. I'm a huge team player, so I feel like I would play Lifeline if Pathfinder wasn't available.
Okay. What do you think about the buffs? Because I know a lot of people are interested in that.
I love the buff. A lot of people I've seen online say that like the buff is kind of like, I don't know, it's not enough. But if you look at those care packages and time your zip lines right, you can get across the map so fast.
So fast.
And every time you look at a care package, that's 10 seconds off your next zip line. So if you're looking at every care package that drops, you're shaving off so much time, so you can just play so many zips. At the beginning of every game, there's 2 care packages that drop around like 3 minutes and 50 seconds off the first ring close. If you like time that zip right, you should have your zip line when that happens. So throw your first zip, look at the care package, you can throw another zip, and as you're flying on, you can look at another care package and get third zip line. His zip lines are long, so if you time that right, it's like a 10-15 second window that you can actually pull this off. But if you can pull that off, you can get your team cross map so fast.
Which opens the door for higher kill games, correct?
Oh yeah. And with the zipline speed buff, you can full send teams a lot easier because you're not going to get fried off a zip unless you're going like straight at them. But if you're going at them at like an angle, it's hard for people to get huge damage on you. You might take some damage, but you just pop a cell and you're ready to fight. So it allows you to push your team on a fight easier without taking massive damage. I've yet to get magged off of my zipline with